This is Fresh Air. I'm Terry Gross. Today, a lot of people throughout the West are angry that the good life is being stolen from them, writes my guest Robert Kuttner. He says, quote, they're not quite sure whom to be angry at: immigrants, corporations, the government, politically correct liberals, the rich, the poor. The anger is unfocused, but is increasingly articulated by a neo-fascist right, unquote. Kuttner sees a connection between the rise of right-wing populism and the fall of a social contract that helped broad groups of people in Western democracies. He thinks a fundamental driver of this discontent is globalized capitalism. Kuttner's new book is called Can Democracy Survive Global Capitalism? We're going to talk about his book and about the threat of a trade war with China. Kuttner is co-founder and co-editor of the publication The American Prospect, where he also writes a column. And he's a professor of public policy at Brandeis University. Robert Kuttner, welcome back to Fresh Air. So it's kind of interesting. The right and the left seem to maybe agree on one thing. They oppose globalism. Not everyone on the right, not everyone on the left, but there is a commonality there. Do they oppose it for the same reasons?
No, they oppose it for very different reasons. The progressive critique of globalization is very simple. It is a critique of the use of a certain kind of globalization to dismantle what used to be a managed form of capitalism that delivered broad prosperity. The democratic nation state, after World War II, was able to regulate markets in the broad public interest so that ordinary people would have economic security and economic prosperity. Beginning in the 70s and 80s, trade deals were used to undermine the ability of governments to regulate banks. They were used to put cheap labor that had no labor standards into competition with labor in the United States and in Europe that benefited from